Okay. I'm sharing my screen.
We can see your screen.
Yes, yes. So I'm speaking about force and how beginners will can find help. Sorry for my English. I'm not fluent speaking. Huh? Uh, I The goal of my presentation is to help uh, beginners to learn Force language. So Force is an interesting language, but learning it for beginners requires a lot of research. And in this presentation, PHP can help beginners to learn Force. In introduction, I've been programming in Force since 1982. I start Force on ZX1 81, then Oric, Amstrad, Thomson, IBM PC. I have written numerous articles on Force in the French press. I also participate in the writing of several books on Force. The second is a book in two exemplars. The first is Manuel Apprentissage, and the second is Manuel de Référence. So these two books are for the IBM PC MS-DOS version. After that, I have write a book about HTML and many books about money. Some books are in French and other in English. I have not made the translation. It's my editor. And my very best sell is this. It's a book published in 100,000 exemplars. I worked for more 20 years for Orange. Orange is a phone operator in France. In 2010, 2010, I built a website that explains programming in HTML, PHP, CSS. And on this site, I fully exploit the Geshi library. This library can highlight the source code of C, Basic, and other language, but not Force code. It's very difficult to use Geshi for underlining Force code. And I have made modification of Geshi, but the result is very bad. And why will I highlighting the Force code? So if you look Force code for beginners, you see that, but it's very long to see word by word to find documentation. So I have found a system to highlight this code, and you have the difference between non-highlighting and highlighting. Here you have the same code, but highlighted. And if you click on a word, you have the documentation of the word. And you can go back in the program or the online documentation. And how it's work. the goal is to allow someone who have a little knowledge of force language to find the explanation of any no word in a single click. The heart of this mechanism is a single PHP function. The function is explode. So if I get a force code, I make two explode. One for, I have a loop that explode first each line of the force code, and each line a second explode that explode words with space separator. So you see here the first explode. The function of explode source is here. It's PHP, it's not C program. So here, the array returned by explode source contains any entry per word force, but also an entry per space characters. The next step, therefore, consists of taking the content of this table and making it in an HTML code with the appropriate hiding and hypertext links. This is what the generate outsource function does. In the second line, if the word is not at space, it tries to stylish the word. The stylish word is very simple. I have a table with no words, no false words. And if a word is found, it's decorated with links and color. So here you have an example. If a word is found, it's underlined in blue and clickable. The PHP script was designed to retrieve force from an MySQL database. The data is managed from an administrator interface. First, the word. Second, the little comment after the word. And after, different variable to have coherent out. This code is similar as voilà. The first is from MySQL database. The second is an ordinary array. So if you will document a word, you can put your word in this array. And each word is classified by its action. The word, the double dot words are in keywords 1. Structural words do loop in second array, and so on. Each word category is associated with a style. So you have a word in blue, but other in red or in black. So each category has an hyperlink. Here you have the link for each category. These links are defined in an MVC programming model. The full PHP code is here. You can get it for your own website. It's totally free. And here is how this PHP code is used in my site explaining force programming. You have the non-decorated code, and below you have the function that decorate the code. So it's finished. Have you question?
I have a question. What is the text editor?
What?
What is the text editor you use with your system?
The text editor is NetBeans.
NetBeans?
Yes.
That's a neat presentation, Mark. It's interesting the use of sort of links to explain each element of the code. Have you do you also generate links for words defined in the code block, or just the one sort of the core words?
No. Only the pre-defined words.
Yeah.
I cannot have documentation for new words.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I use NetBeans here for all my programs in PHP or C or Force. Here you have an example of a Force code under NetBeans. Other question?
Okay, it sounds like we're, any other questioners? All right.
I
so much,
I
Mark.
show you. I show you there. So I have for ESP32 all vocabularies, and when words have no explanation, it's not possible to have the documentation.
Very cool.
So you can have the documentation in French and English.
Very nice.
Well, you can't really
And for
Go ahead, Mark.
yes.
Go ahead. Fred has his hand up. It's like
I was clapping. But nice to see the sort of trying to construct documentation out of the material. That's neat. You're muted, Kevin.
I know. I was just saying I'm gonna go to the bottom there and click the reactions and put the thumbs up, and there you go. And if it were in real life, you'd get a good round of applause. So thank you very much, Mark. Yeah, there's
Yes.
Bill.